day. Yes, Danny, every day for one academic for 45 minutes. Yes.
If they're in that elective, yes.
Yes, but in elementary, that was agreement between, parents and elementary school. We are going to have 2 times per week, and we will increase hours only if our all students will be at grade level in English. Okay, so understanding right now, our kids need more English at grade level. We decided to keep Russian language only 2 times per week. Okay, if school site council or parents will be requesting or asking for more hours, we can revisit and start talk about this, but that was our agreement.
Thank you. Thank you, Larissa. Any other comments?
Well, in general, this is meeting about English learners, right? Not learning Russian, it's learning English. So just record my comment. I was just feeling like my kids went to a separate Russian school. And so I thought, since, the school offers Russian, they don't need to go to the school. But I was wrong. I had to put them back in Russian school because they were not getting enough. But anyhow, it's still good that they're getting it twice a week. But our focus is on English learning. So here we are.
Thank you, Elena. And we understand this. We are trying to how we can supply our Russian language program for our kids and offer more and more like online or other supplemental programs for kids to work independently and help with Russian language. So as a school, we are working on this and trying, so we will be presenting to you. So right now we are working on developing some programs for kids even before starting kindergarten or TK to learn alphabet and other things. Okay, how to read, how to speak. So we are working on this, and we will be presenting to you maybe in the future, okay, when those programs will be done. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is great. So let's review our SSC meetings.
I had a question too.
Oh, okay.
Is COA planning on doing the pre-K or CK? Pre-kindergarten.
Pre-K
TK.
or TK.
We call this universal TK. So we are going to start to enroll kids for universal TK, like our registration form saying. And next step, if we are going to have more spots, we will be offering kids for 4 years old or 3.5. So that would be dependent on how much spots we are going to have for next year. So now we are in a phase to re-enroll our kids and see how many students we will be currently re-enrolling from kindergarten through 7th grade, and see how many classrooms do we have for next year. And after that, we will be calculating if we can accept other kids, okay? Well, that's depend on buildings, on facilities. And of course, we are planning to purchase middle school facility, and same thing that middle school, we will be calculating how many classrooms we will be remodeling. So that would be our next project.
All right, thank you for
the packet. Oh, sorry. So in the packet that went in today for the re-enrollment, there was a page saying that TK is offered for the kids enrolled in school currently.
So
there was
we are offering universal TK. That's a little bit limiting time with age. For example, like turning 5 between February and I can tell you.
July.
Okay, I see.
So that's
The birthdays are like a cutoff from
That's
like
right,
from
that's
September. Okay, transitional. Okay, kindergarten.
yeah, if we are going to have
Transitional.
more classrooms available, so we will be extending time for our TK and pre-K and preschool. So that would be dependent on our facilities. Okay. So we
So
will
one more
start with
question.
this, dates, cut off days, and then we will be extending.
One more thing. So as of right now, since it was overturned for the vaccine mandate, we're looking at kids coming back to regular school next year, right?
Yeah, in person. So now
Very good. Thank you.
you're welcome. Go back to our agenda, Anna.
Yes, so let's go review minutes from last time. Any comments? If not, we will move on to Wasp progress report.
Daniel, are you going to update or do you want me to update?
I can start, and then if you want to jump in with anything that we missed, not sure how deep you want to go because we've kind of done it before, but I'll start and we'll go. Just sounds good. Let's see. So if you take a look at those documents, we've got a few things here. First, we have our WASP progress report. So if you open that up, this is basically our self-study in its completion. We've been working through it. We've been taking input, making minor refinements and adjustments. So currently we're there. We've looked heavily at chapter 3 again since the last time we met. And we talked about extending our action plan over the course of 6 years. So we are projecting out 6 years. So this is there for your review. You can take a look, read it, look through it. We will be meeting on Thursday with our representative to submit the final self-study document. So that's the first document that you have access to. The second one is our WASP action plan. This is also found in the self-study progress report. But if you wanted to take a look at the action plan, you can look and see what our goals are. We've reviewed these before here, so I won't spend too much time, but it's basically about helping our students with reading, math, and then seeing to their needs socio-emotionally, and then building cohesion across both campuses. The action plan has strike-throughs and edits and things that we've crossed out and taken off from the last plan. Again, this is just there for your information, for you to review, take a look at, be aware of. And then lastly, if you open up the third WASC document, you will see our visit draft schedule. Larissa and I will be meeting with the representative on Thursday to finalize the schedule. There will be a couple times when we're looking to parents or to involve parents. So if you take a look, you can find the days and the groups and who we're meeting with. Larissa, would you like to talk a little more about the parents and their involvement on this document?
So I'm trying to highlight your time. So we are planning to meet via Zoom with school site council representatives, not DELAC, but school site council on Saturday, February 6th. And all school site council representatives will get an invitation for this time, and please join, and that would be about only about 30-45 minutes with a WASC committee, and they're going to ask questions, of course, about like school, about what do you feel, how you involve, how you participate, engage, and that would be really helpful for our accreditation for when you provide your input. So that would be one time. Another time when we need you, so that would be with school site council president and vice president. That would be on Wednesday, February 9. Trying to highlight. Okay, that would be from 9 to 9:45. That would be meeting in person here at school. So if this schedule will be approved by WASC committee, so we will share with you again and ask you to to go to via Zoom or in person. If any other time, in addition what we already scheduled or planned, we will let you know. But right now, mostly that would be with school staff members, with school leadership team, with a student leadership team, meetings, and with, of course, administration. But with you guys, that would be on Sunday, and of course Wednesday with school site with Tanya, with Anna and Tanya Kravchuk. Okay. Any
Thank
questions?
you, Larissa. And then as we prepare, I have a document. I don't have it with me on this computer, but something I'd like to share with parents. And it's basically a summary of the WASC action plan and the chapter 3 and stuff like that, just so parents have a bulleted reference sheet that they can look to if they want to know what's going on or want to remember. I'll make sure to send that to them immediately.
Thank you, Danny. And I would like to affirm you for doing a great job, because as a WASC coordinator, you actually was involved in any different sections and with writing a progress report, action plan, working with WASC representative, working and still working on schedule. And I know during their meeting that would be a lot of work from you, because as a coordinator, you're actually responsible to clarify questions, to be with them, to answer questions, to organize different groups, to meet with them. So we are going to help you. But anyway, please accept on behalf every single parent and administration and school staff, great affirmation for doing a great job. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you for saying that. Appreciate it.
If you have any questions, parents, probably that's a time to ask. And of course, next time we will be talking again to presenting our schedule, approved schedule to you and confirm from you. But Vita and Ivan and Paulina will be sending a Zoom invite for you during those hours. And please talk to them if you will be not available, so we can invite maybe somebody else and show our WASC visiting committee. That's our parents, very good, very involved, and very engaged in student and school, daily events, schedules, and all things we are doing for your kids. Any questions? We're okay? Good. Thank you. Next, our item agenda, I think Anna is driving or something like that. So because we are going to combine meeting today with school site council and DELAC representatives, and always we would like to focus on our Elpac or our interventions or other programs we have for those students who are studying or learning English in our school. Today we decided to talk about 2 items. We will be talking about Elpac updates, testing, and Miss Meza is going to, she's our Elpac coordinator for our school, and she's going to update us with this information. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, I think. Okay, so what I have for you is 2 updates actually. So there are 2 updates I'm going to share with you. The first one is just an update on our initial Elpac test. The initial Elpac test is ongoing. Anytime a student who is newly enrolled at a school in the United States will have to take an English proficiency exam, and in California it's Elpac. And we also take a summative Elpac assessment for those students who, once they took the initial and they were identified as an English learner, will take the summative Elpac assessment. The window opens February 1st for all of our students who are learning English. And the state closes the window May 31st. We're going to try to finish much earlier so that our students who also take the CASP aren't taking 2 state tests at the same time. So an update for our initial Elpac is, so far we have given an initial Elpac test to 258 newcomers, which are enrolled at our elementary and our middle school. And once a newcomer has completed the test, then we determine if the child's scores make them eligible for ELD, or if they are proficient. They don't take ELD classes and they are designated as a proficient fluent English speaker. Overall, just in case anybody's curious, here is our ethnicity report. The top one is just overall everybody at our school, both schools, elementary and middle school combined. And then the bottom one that I highlighted in the yellow box are the students who are actually taking the Elpac, the initial Elpac, so our newcomers. And that's the makeup of our newcomers. So we have some Asian, some Hispanic, Latino, and then some white. And then of course, primarily that's Russian and Ukrainian speaking, but not all. So back to the summative. So as I said, all English learners will take the summative Elpac this year. And the summative Elpac is measuring the progress that your child is making as they're learning English through their ELD classes. So we measure the progress every year. And what you receive then is a score report that looks like this. And you'll get an overall level in each of the 4 domains. So they're tested in speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And you'll see all their scores, and then it will assign them a level, an Elpac level. And then that's how we know what to focus on when they are receiving ELD lessons. And that's what you'll be receiving from the state. We also get a copy here so that teachers are also fully aware of your child's score and level. Are there any questions?
Yeah, Michelle,
Yes.
what was that number before? Was that 284 students between elementary and middle school for the initial?
258 students so far have been tested.
Sorry about that. Thank you for that clarification.
Oh, you're welcome.
And can I, when do we get those results back for the initial one? So,
Oh, good question. So the initial test, once it's given to a student, it should take about 2 weeks for us to receive all those documents. And for us at the school, it goes into our ARIES. And so the student's report will show there. And then for families, they get a copy that's also shared through their portal. So when they log in, they'll be able to see that information as well. Now the summative takes a little longer because that's statewide and it's all English learners. And so it will take a couple of months to receive those results.
All right, and so does the state scores the initial one, or do we?
We only score a part of the initial. Everything else is done by the state.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. So next up is RTI.
All right, I'm going to cover that. Michelle, would you mind sharing the RTI on the screen for me? I don't have sharing rights. Thank you. So our RTI process, it's still showing the Elpac. As she gets that loaded, I'll describe it. So our RTI process is the process we use at our school and schools around to identify and support our students who are struggling academically or behaviorally. So at COA, elementary and middle school, we follow the process of the SAP, and the SAP is a form that teachers fill out when they are identifying a student as needing additional supports. So since we do have such a large number of English language learners, usually language alone is not something that we would create a SAP for to support our students who are struggling, because we as teachers at COA are constantly thinking of ways to support and help our English language learners. So at COA, we are looking more for other academic struggles along with behavioral and see if we can help support them. So the SAP, the teachers monitor their students for 4 to 6 weeks with implementing some different strategies. In the classroom, they work with their curriculum coach or administration or their peers to find out ways to support their students if they're struggling. After they try 4 to 6 weeks in step 1, they then meet with the parent and they discuss with the parent what they've been working on and if it's going well or not. And if it's not going well and they're finding that the student still needs additional support, then they'll go to steps 2 of the SAP. On step 2, same thing, they'll identify interventions to try in the classroom, and as well as possible other supports around campus, such as reading intervention or math intervention. And then they will track those for another 4 to 6 weeks. At the end of that time frame, if the student is still struggling, we'll call what's called an SST meeting. And that meeting is just a team of representatives from our campus. So we have the teacher, we would have the parent, sometimes the student if they're old enough, as well as myself or Michael as the administration, occasionally curriculum coaches and classroom teachers, and possibly even members of our student support team. Members of our student support team include our speech and language pathologist, our school psychologist. Eventually, once we get the positions filled, it might include a counselor. Or we're just looking for different ideas at the table to kind of help support the student. So for the initial SST, we would meet as a team, we would discuss the concerns and brainstorm some strategies to help support that student even further. And then at that meeting, we would set a follow-up date. If that, at the follow-up date, we're still not making progress, then we may move beyond the follow-up SST, and we may move into offering some additional testing or supports for our students to maybe receive speech services, or maybe to work with our resource department, or even times to work with a counselor or a social worker, or even just check in with our school psychologist. And this process is, we've done a really good job at COA over the last few years, really explaining this to our parents and our staff, and helping them understand the benefits of this, but also making it not seem so overwhelming and scary. It can be a lot to go into a room with all these people and discuss your child and how your child's doing, but we're all truly there to help. And so through this process, we've been retraining our current staff and refreshing them on it, as well as training new staff, as well as working with middle school. Danny and I have been working closely together to help bring this same model over to the middle school, because in the past they had a little bit of a different model of how they tracked their students to support them when they needed extra support. So as you'll see on your screen, and it's kind of hard to see here, obviously, because it's shared and it's smaller, but it's linked on the agenda. There's a pathway. So you'll be able to follow the student and where they're going. So for example, if the student who's in yellow is doing well and they're, succeeding in class, there you follow the green pathway and there's all is good. If they are not doing well behaviorally, then you'd follow the pink pathway. And so if you follow each different color pathway, it just leads you to supporting the student either with behaviors or mental health or academics or, for math or for reading. And so it's just a way to follow how we support all of these students and whatever we see. The one thing though that I want to really make clear, so if our representatives here have a chance to speak with any other parents about our student services department and what we offer, is it's 100% based on parents' agreement. We do not do anything without the parents being aware. We do not sign your child up for anything. We do not put them in any additional supports unless you are notified and you agree to them. So this is a 100% team working together and making sure that we're all helping the students get what they need. And now that we have middle school on board with the same model this year, we're able to have our students who continue on with our middle school transfer all the information if they've been in our process at the elementary school to the middle school to make sure that they continue to receive any additional supports they need. And we've had numerous students have SSTs that are closed because they no longer need the support, graduate out of our intervention programs, even have their IEPs dissolved because they no longer need supports. So it's really a beneficial way for us to support our kids, and a clean, easy way to follow it on this map by just going through and seeing where the kid might be struggling and following that pathway along. And like I said, it's all 100% based on your consent. So if you do ever get called to an SST meeting, you'll know what to expect in that meeting. And once again, if you get a chance to talk with other parents, you can share that as well. But that's just a little overview of our process of making sure that our students receive every support they can at COA while they are with us to help them academically, emotionally, and just physically too. We also have 504s, which would help with if a student had a potential physical impairment or other needs as well. So any questions?
Is this a part of social emotional program?
It's kind of a no. So it's different. It's completely different from SEL, but SEL can be tied into this process if a student is struggling socially or emotionally. We sometimes bring in our school psychologist to help support that student by asking parents if they're okay with an in-classroom or on the playground observation. So she is able to identify areas in which they might need support. And then, in fact, we just recently had a situation where and the parent agreed to have her meet with the child 2 times a week for 15 minutes just to kind of help him express his feelings verbally versus he's little versus, running away or screaming or things like that. And so that does tie into social and emotional development and learning, but it's not a direct correlation of our SEL program.
Yes, just a quick note, all the services that we provide, including counseling services, need to be pre-approved by the parent beforehand, guys, okay? This is very important for you to note.
Yes, we have consent forms for everything that we have parents fill out and sign, from reading intervention to math intervention to an observation by our school psychologist or an observation of our speech pathologist. We never even do an observation or offer any support to that student without parents' full understanding and consent.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next up would be 2022-23 planning update. And I don't know who's leading that.
I can update with this. So we open already our re-enrollment for our current kindergarten through 7th grade students starting today. And somebody mentioned already, you already received the information, and our pre-K or universal TK enrollment for siblings only. So after that, we are going to open for all public students, and if that would be more students than we are planning to have in our school, we will be opening our lottery. So this flyer, let's say flyer, we already sent to our parents, to all our students. So we will be doing in elementary and middle school. So if you have any questions regarding re-enrollment or siblings enrollment, please.
No more kids to enroll. That was our last daughter. So we'll just wait for others. Daniela, we're waiting for you, for your kids.
I don't just have my kids, I have a large family. I'm sending them all.
Exactly.
Letting you know about our enrollment, we lost about, let's say 62 students from the beginning of the school year. They moved to another state, and only one family went to another school district. But we enrolled about 83 students from immigrant families. So that's a lot. So we are going to have a lot of newcomers again, and that would be required Elpac testing and support from our staff members, specifically from our teachers and peers. So that's a big amount. So we don't know how many families we will be enrolling, but if we are going to have spots or spaces in our elementary and middle school, we will be enrolling different kids. And probably that would be a lot of immigrants, also immigrants. So that would be, we will be by purchasing like supplementals and programs to fulfill their needs and support them. So that's kind of, we are watching or opening our eyes how to plan for next year, or what additional staff do we have to hire, curriculum or supplemental materials we have to purchase, and how to set up our classrooms, how to open additional staffing members for our school, what kind of budget allocation we have to make decisions. So in our next future, probably 1 or 2 months later, we are going to present our plans to School Site Council and DELAC committee, and letting you know what we are going to do. Again, we need your involvement, engagement. We need your voices to hear what do you think about what else we need to provide and what we have to do to meet our students' needs.
Is there any word on a virtual academy or a virtual school?
For this moment, we have no needs to open a community outreach academy, virtual academy, because we are planning to have our education instructions in person. That's why we are not planning to do differently like we have right now. So we have open GCC, that's already open, GCC Virtual Academy, and they accept every single students who are actually interested on this education. So if would be changes with vaccination requirements or immunization things, and a lot of our students will be planning to go to online or distance learning, so we will be thinking about virtual academy within COA elementary middle school. But for now, we have no need.
All right, thank you.
Anything else would like to add, Mr. Sergi or Danny, Nicole? We have forgot something? No. Okay.
Not much. We're planning on having a meeting with GCC central office sometime in February, where we're going to go over details on how to prepare ourselves for the next school year. More information will come hopefully by the end of February.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Yes, we are going to have our budget meeting when we will be go over our second interim budget planning. So we will see how much money left and how much money we are going to plan to spend until this school year to support a next school year. So that would be very important meeting. So we are preparing all documents, all our resources, and you know, information for that meeting.
Okay, next up on the agenda would be upcoming information events for parents, COA, middle school.
So you see attached our newsletter for middle school and elementary. So that's for your information, and probably you already saw this because we are distributing our newsletters monthly, elementary as well as middle school. So this is for your information to have online those documents, and we are trying to put interested by you guys topics. So you see us on radio station, and you hear us on radio, and you see us all topics in our newsletters. If you have any suggestions or topic you're interested to see on our newsletters and to hear something, we are open to hear you. We have chat box. Can you please somebody have check please our chat writing box to update us. So please let us know, because we are open. We would like those newsletters will be interesting for you, and provide information that's very important for you to know and plan in the future, or plan for your families, for your kids, and keep those newsletters. So we are really open for your suggestions. Another thing, we are planning to have parent summit. So this is another information, and that would be in January 27th. So we will be sending more information for you before that meeting, but that would be parent meeting for 2022 for our amazing parents. And of course, you will see our superintendent, assistant superintendent, and other GCC and school leaders there. That would be recognitions and information and asking questions, and of course, talking about our great programs.
Larissa, there is something in the chat, but it's in Russian, so I'm unable to I'm unable to read it to you. So if you want to check that out and see if it's anything we can.
Добрый день. Подскажите, на следующий учебный год детям обязательно ставить прививку от COVID-19 или нет?
That would be, this is about vaccination, COVID-19 vaccination. That would be optional, or for up to you guys. So you have to see your doctor and see your children health your family situation, everything what's kind of you have to know about health issue and information from your doctor, and up to you. So no requirements from school, no requirement from the state, no governor. So that would be, if any information we need to require, that would be provided for you in the future. But for now, that's up to you.
Also going back, sorry, my video is acting up. I turn it off. Also going back to the parent summit, it is important for all, at least SSC parent representative, to register and attend. We are going to recognize parents there, and we highly encourage all of the DELAC and SSC parents to register and be there next Thursday. But at least SSC representative, please go to the link or scan the QR code and please register for the parent summit next week on the 27th.
Thank you, Paulina, and that's very important, because you're going to, with your participation, you're going to show your support to our school. So that would be great to find some time to be there and present and be active. So that would be very important, and to show support to your school, to your administration, to your children, and that would be really appreciated.
And it will be via Zoom or in person?
That we are planning to have via Zoom.
Oh, thank you.
More information will come, so we will let you know. Our parent liaisons will inform you and send you more information, and ask, even send links. So just wait for that information. Before we are going to adjourn our meeting, so our next school site council, that's only for school site council, but DELAC members, please, we are open to, and even not only DELAC, but other parents, we are open to see anybody to participate, and that would be great. So our next school site council meeting is scheduled for February 15th, 2022. So, and of course, wait for more information, more important information, specifically about planning, about what to expect for next year, and what changes we are going to make for next year. So that would be important information. Anything else you would like to see in our agenda for our next school site council meeting? I think Mr. Romero would like to hear that and put in our comments or our minutes for our next meeting. That would be great for you to give us any suggestions in terms of agenda.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. And of course, that would be after our WASC meeting. That would be a lot of updates again. So that's very important. We are very busy those days. We are very busy with, I know teachers busy. We have short of our staff members. Some students still on quarantine, okay, on quarantine. So some sick, some still with feeling not well because of family members. So, and with planning, we're planning next year with our re-enrollment, with our second interim budget process. We have different types of classroom work, like reports and assessments and piloting new curriculum and new staff members and short of some PRs and classified staff members. So we are very busy. And of course, on behalf of all parents, I would like to affirm our administration, teacher, and curriculum coaches, vice principal on their hard work they're doing. So thank you guys, and we are trying to be healthy, safe, and productive, and multitasking with all those things we are doing right now. And thank you for bringing your kids in school and supporting them. And thank you for being with us. That's very important. And our lunch. So in teaching, you cannot see the fruit on a day's work. So of course, sometimes when we are doing something, we would like to see fruits. We would like to see products. But with teaching, you cannot. So it can be maybe for 20 years, 10 years, 15, even 30 years. So that's great support for our educators. So plant your seeds and wait, you will see fruits maybe in 20 years later. Yeah. Anything else before we adjourn our meeting? No suggestions for agenda items for next time? Great, so we will put items what we think that would be important for you to know. Anything else? We are fine to finish our meeting. Okay, great, adjourn. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
This is Gunchar.
Thank you, everyone. Take care, guys.
Bye. Bye-bye.